Hola chicos, es la señora Ver con otro tutorial de gramática, ¿sí? El imperativo. ¿Qué es el imperativo? Muy importante. Mandatos, commands. So, today we are going to be looking at el imperativo. There is a lot to go over, so I've decided that I'm going to break this down in a couple of parts. So this is el imperativo, parte 1. See? We'll get to parte 2 at some other time. But let's take a look at this, okay? So, ¿qué es el imperativo? El imperativo is what we call in español a mode of communication. It's every time you tell somebody what to do or what not to do. Okay? It's a command, right? You're telling people. You hear these all the time. So the purpose of this tutorial is for us to clear up accuracy, to review some old material, and to start being a little bit more aware of when you're reading things, especially because we're going to be looking at a lot of infografías y artículos, and con la salud y el bienestar, it is very common to give people advice, see? And to recommend things and tell them, do this, don't do that. So today I want to look at two commands, see? So we're going to look at two commands. Por favor, copien. You know, every time I give you a tutorial, we have to take notes and upload them. Two commands, any command can be given in two forms, okay? We have the affirmative, meaning I tell someone what to do, or we can give a negative command, see? When you tell somebody what not to do, ¿vale? There are many ways to arrive at these, but I am going to give you a shortcut, see? Because the shortcut allows you to quickly access the information a little bit, faster. And maybe it'll help you remember. Later on, we can tie it all together with some other grammatical topics that are coming down the line eventually. So, two affirmative commands. When you tell somebody a tú, and you know what I mean by this, right? Because tú is informal. En español, at this point, we should all know that we have a you formal and a you informal. When you talk to our peers, anybody, that we kind of feel a little bit more relaxed and friendly with, we will treat as tú. Usted is a little bit more formal, but we will reserve that for later. So, for commands, this is a shortcut. Anytime you want to give somebody a tú command, we always go back to the verb endings, correcto? And this goes back to when we were doing the future one. In español, verbos have three types of endings. That's it. No more. AR, ER, or IR. And the things that happen to the verbs are dependent on what their ending is. So, if you have a verb that ends in AR or ER, to make an affirmative command, all you do is drop the R. That's it. Okay? Couldn't be easier. So, for example, I'm going to pick three verbs I'm going to use for both. Let's take lavar. Okay, comer y escribir. Just easy verbs, right? Okay. Ahí puse. Well, I'll get to that in a minute. But for lavar, it ends in AR or ER. So all I do is, and I put the exclamation marks because I'm kind of telling you what to do, right? Like, lava los platos. Lava la ropa, por favor. Comer. I say, hey, come más frutas, come más ensaladas, come más saludable. Okay? If your verb ends in IR, which I put it there, it's a little bit more complicated. Not much. You drop the IR and you add an E. Okay? So basically, it kind of becomes like this, right? So vamos a decir, oye, escribe estas notas que te estoy dando ahora. Escribe, ¿sí? All right? So, those are affirmative commands. You guys hear these all the time. You use them all, you read about them all the time, okay? Mandatos negativos con tú, and let's go back. Always the ending is what, tells us the type of verb we're dealing with. Okay, but now, see how here the top two you drop an R and the bottom you got to do something different? Well, now this is going to go in reverse. The AR has something happening to it, and the ER and IR has something similar happening to them. So if I want to give a negative command and my verb ends in AR, you drop the AR and you add ES. See? So, let's say lavar is my only one AR verb. No laves. No laves los platos. Deja que lo vamos a poner en el lavaplatos. ¿Sí? But if your verb ends in ER and IR, for both of these, you drop the ending, which is either ER or IR, and you add an AS. See? So, for example, no comas tanta comida basura. Por favor, no comas tanto dulce, tanto chocolate. Oye, no escribas en la pared, ¿verdad? Deja de hacer graffiti, no escribas en la pared, ¿sí? Ok, entonces, those are our little shortcuts to create an accurately, grammatically accurate command en el afirmativo y negativo, just for two. There are many more. I'm going to put that in another tutorial. But last thing we got to look at, which is always a pain. En español, we always have irregulares, see? And they always tend to be the same people, right? I call them people because they always pop up and they always got some drama. So let's take a look over here. Let's write down the irregulars that usually give us problems. Ser, poner, tener, salir. All right. And let's go over here on this half. We're going to put venir, venir, ir, decir, y hacer. Okay? Usually when I'm talking about commands affirmative and negative, the way I shortcut it is I put a plus sign, un más para afirmativos, y a minus sign, un menos para negativo. All right? So let's do this. For each of these verbs, we're going to write el afirmativo y el negativo. Afirmativo y negativo. And we're going to write these out. Okay? So here we go. Ser. Sé. No seas. Poner. Pon. Negativo. No pongas. Tener. Ten. No tengas. Salir. Sal. Sal de aquí. No, no salgas, por favor. No te salgas de mi vida. Okay, venir. Ven. Ven aquí. Everybody knows that, right? Oye, ven aquí. Oye, no vengas por aquí más. Don't come ever around here again. Oye, no vengas. Ir. Ve. No vayas. All right, so notice all the little weirdnesses, right? Okay. Decir, dime la verdad, tell me the truth, dime la verdad, di. Oye, no digas mentiras. Don't be telling lies, ¿ah? No digas mentiras, tú. ¿Ah? Hacer, haz tu tarea, haz el trabajo de la clase. ¿Ah? No hagas tanto ruido. Don't make so much noise. No hagas. Okay? Ven ahí. So, I know this is a little bit kind of, it's a lot, but this is what it takes to be accurate. So, what we're going to do, I know this is very basic, but we want to be very accurate in our spelling. And I'm picking up a lot of spelling mistakes in some of your writing. And these little details do matter, okay? The reason I want to review this is because this leads into another thing. I'm going to make a second tutorial, una parte dos, because in Espanol, we also have usted commands that are very common, nosotros commands, y ustedes commands. And I'm using the abbreviations, okay? But these are used a lot. These I use all the time with you guys, all right? When I say vayan a Schoology, cliquen en la lección de hoy, entren en el Google Doc. All those things that I tell you to do, to follow along. Vayan a Quizlet, completen you see it all the time, right? And those are ustedes. So these are going to be a little bit simpler. These are kind of complicated because they have two different forms. These, mucho más fácil. Pero eso es parte 2, ¿ok? Tomen notas, por favor. Lo suben a Schoology con el trabajo y posiblemente conjuguemos para practicar esto un poquito, ¿sí? Ok, chicos, muchas gracias. Adiós.